Special news. Erin update. Hurricane Erin is one of the fastest rapidly strengthening storms in Atlantic history. Good evening, and thank you for joining us in this special weather bulletin. In today's program, we turn our full attention to Hurricane Erin, which has now re-intensified into a Category 4 hurricane with extremely powerful winds, directly threatening parts of the Caribbean, the U.S. East Coast, and even Atlantic Canada in the coming days. This is one of the largest and most dangerous tropical systems of the season, and every small change in its trajectory could lead to vastly different impacts on land. In addition, alongside Erin, experts are also monitoring a new tropical disturbance in the eastern Atlantic, currently given a 50% chance of developing into a depression or storm within the next week. So, where is Erin now? How strong is it? And what impacts will it bring? Let us walk you through the detailed analysis. Current development of Hurricane Erin. According to the latest data from the U.S. National Hurricane Center, NHC, Erin has strengthened into a Category 4 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale, with maximum sustained winds of about 130 miles per hour, 210 km per hour, and a central pressure near 945 MB. This very low pressure indicates that the storm is highly organized and structurally strong. Over the past 24 to 36 hours, Erin underwent a familiar phenomenon observed in major hurricanes, an eye wall replacement cycle. In simple terms, when the inner eye collapses, a larger outer eye forms around it, temporarily weakening the storm. However, once the process is complete, the hurricane's structure becomes more stable, and the wind field expands significantly. This means that even if peak winds do not rise much, the storm's reach grows wider. Recent satellite images show a new eye forming clearly, with spiral rainbands wrapping tightly around the center. This is a sign Erin is preparing for another round of strengthening. Experts warn it could reach 145 miles per hour later today, nearing Category 5 intensity. Areas currently affected. At present, Turks and Caicos and the southeastern Bahamas are already feeling the first impacts from Erin. Even though the center is still hundreds of kilometers away, wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour, 80–100 kilometers per hour, and heavy rainfall have been reported. Low-lying areas face a high risk of storm surge and dangerous surf. Authorities have issued tropical storm warnings for all of Turks and Caicos, while placing the central Bahamas under a tropical storm watch. Within the next 24 hours, as Erin continues northwestward, winds and rainfall are expected to intensify further, creating increasingly dangerous conditions for residents and travelers. Forecast track and intensity. According to NHC's forecast track, Erin will continue moving northwest to north-northwest over the next 1 to 2 days. Next 24 hours, the hurricane will approach waters between the Bahamas and Bermuda. It is likely to remain at Category 4, possibly even intensifying to Category 5. Wednesday night into Thursday morning, Erin is forecast to pass offshore of the Outer Banks of North Carolina. While a direct landfall is not expected, the storm will come close enough to bring strong winds, high surf, and dangerous storm surge. Authorities on Hatteras Island have issued mandatory evacuation orders for residents and tourists. This weekend, as Erin tracks farther north, it is expected to weaken to a Category 2 to 3 storm, expanding in size but losing tropical characteristics. Its path could brush eastern New England before reaching Atlantic Canada late in the weekend. It is important to note that the NHC forecast cone only represents the possible track of the storm's center, not the full extent of its impacts. In reality, large hurricanes like Erin bring damaging winds, heavy rain, and rough seas extending hundreds of miles beyond the eye. Therefore, even if the center stays offshore, coastal areas from Florida to Maine must remain on high alert. Forecast model outlooks differ. European model, ECMWF, suggests Erin will curve farther east, skirting Bermuda before recurving into the Atlantic, sparing the U.S. mainland. USGFS model shows a closer approach to the coast, with stronger impacts from the Outer Banks through New England. German ICON model offers a more extreme scenario, intensifying Erin into a Category 5 hurricane just off North Carolina, with widespread hurricane-force winds near the coast. These differences highlight the significant uncertainty in the forecast. Residents along the U.S. East Coast should not be complacent and must closely monitor official updates. Potential regional impacts. Bahamas and Turks and Caicos. Wind gusts of 60 to 75 miles per hour, 100–120 kilometers per hour. Widespread heavy rainfall, flash flooding possible, dangerous storm surge and high surf in coastal areas. Bermuda. Winds of 45 to 55 miles per hour, 70–90 kilometers per hour, midweek. Heavy rainfall disrupting marine and air operations. U.S. East Coast. Outer Banks. North Carolina. Wind gusts 40 to 55 miles per hour, 60–90 kilometers per hour. Storm surge flooding, large waves. Virginia to New England. Winds 25 to 40 miles per hour, 40–60 kilometers per hour. Dangerous seas. Offshore islands like Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, and Cape Cod may face stronger impacts. Atlantic Canada. Provinces such as Newfoundland and Nova Scotia could experience wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour, 60–80 kilometers per hour, late this weekend. Rough seas threatening fishing fleets and shipping routes. Why Erin can strengthen further. Experts explain that environmental conditions around Erin are highly favorable. Sea surface temperatures of 29 to 31 degrees Celsius, 85 to 88 degrees Fahrenheit, provide abundant energy. Low wind shear in the upper atmosphere allows the storm to maintain symmetry. High atmospheric moisture supports deep convection around the center. Because of this, even after temporarily weakening from the eye-wall replacement cycle, Erin could rapidly intensify again within 24 to 48 hours. A new tropical disturbance emerging. Alongside Erin, the NHC is also tracking a new tropical wave moving off the west coast of Africa into the eastern Atlantic. It currently has a 50% chance of developing into a depression or storm within the next 7 days. Forecast models suggest this disturbance may follow a similar path to Erin, gradually moving toward the Caribbean and western Atlantic. Whether it intensifies quickly will depend on ocean heat content, atmospheric moisture, and surrounding high and low pressure systems. If it develops, it could become the next named storm of the 2025 Atlantic season, adding further complexity to this already intense hurricane season. Closing remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, Hurricane Erin is one of the most powerful and dangerous storms of the season. Even though a direct landfall on the U.S. is uncertain, its impacts are already being felt in many areas. Every small change in its track could mean the difference between safety and widespread damage. Residents in the Bahamas, Bermuda, North Carolina, New England, and Atlantic Canada should remain extremely vigilant. Stay updated with official forecasts, and follow evacuation orders if issued. We will continue to monitor Erin closely, as well as the newly emerging tropical disturbance, and bring you the fastest and most accurate updates in our next bulletins. Thank you for watching, and may you and your families stay safe during this hurricane season.